It's actually a mental struggle that you're having with your body. I remember being delusional and hallucinating. I heard voices. I would go back and forth on my knees, praying to back in the bed on my knees. I knew something was wrong.
Excuse me, 40 years ago, mental health was something you kept in the closet. There might have been women that were going through it, but it's been maybe the last 30 years, 20 or 30 years, where people even talk about mental health.
Many times when women come in for that postpartum visit, it's really a visit for you, the provider, to get in touch with what's going on with that woman, how the last 6 weeks have been, how she's coped, how she's managed with this new role that she now plays with the baby. And some women can adjust very easily, and some really do have challenges.
The first thing that I learned is that if you're going to be on medication, if you're going to, health practitioners are going to take a look at medication as well as their patients and see the benefits outweighing the risk. So we're getting back to just looking at the individual patient and what's good for the individual. They're also taking a look at what's good for African American people. So we're now figuring out that some medications aren't as effective in African Americans because of genetics and how we metabolize things as they might be in other cultures. So I think that that's also important, that if you go on a medication postpartum, that you're actually working with your practitioners to make sure that they're looking at the total body and making sure that you're not having any complications due to that. Because it might warrant you being taken off the medication, and there might be other ways to address your postpartum.
About 3 years ago, when I moved here and I started being exposed to patients with postpartum depression and perinatal mood disorders a lot more than I did when I was in the university setting, I started looking for resources. And at the time, they told me there's an Emory program, and that was about it. And I said, well, that can't be it. This is Atlanta. There's got to be more than just that. And there really wasn't that much more. Here in the state of Georgia, it would be nice to have more resources. That's the one thing that's difficult for me as a private practitioner, is there's a handful of resources in Atlanta. Any patient that I have who comes from an hour outside of Atlanta, whether it's north, south, east, or west, I don't have anything for them. I don't have anything for them.
Being able to get the proper medical treatment is very, very important, especially if you're trying to heal and you're trying to make sure you can be normal again so you can get back to your baby. Having insurance and being able to get the tools and resources you need is very beneficial. It plays a major role. I use myself an example. My insurance, one insurance being canceled and the other did not kick in yet. So I was right in between a gray line. So I didn't receive the proper treatment I needed. So I was forced to take the 20 plus years that I had experience and apply it to myself and heal myself. So I went into the yoga, I went into the meditation, I went into the nutrition, I went into the exercise, and that's what saved my life. It was me knowing what I needed, and I thank God for preparing me years ahead, putting me on that path of health and wellness. I didn't understand it, but now I understand it now, and I can stand here right now and say this saved my life.
And none of the psychiatric or mental health hospitals here in the greater metropolitan area will take mothers with babies. None of them will. They only take the mom, and the mom has to be separated from the baby. The trick is it's not just referring the patient to a psychiatrist, it's referring the patient to a psychiatrist who knows about postpartum psychosis and postpartum depression.